I started dating 6 years after my wife died, and my daughter called me screaming that I was cheating on her mom. So my wife Sarah passed away 6 years ago from pneumonia that got really bad really fast. The day before she died, she seemed like she was getting better. The doctors were optimistic and we were all joking around in her hospital room. That's when she looked at me and said, "If I die, you're not allowed to date." I laughed and said, "Deal, I promise." My 2 daughters were sitting right there and heard the whole thing. We all thought she was kidding because she was supposed to be coming home in a few days. But that night, everything went wrong. Her oxygen levels dropped, and by noon the next day she was gone. Just like that. My girls were 14 and 12 at the time. I spent the last 6 years raising them alone, making lunches, going to parent-teacher conferences, teaching them how to drive, finally sent my youngest off to college in August, and the house was completely empty for the first time ever. I'd been going to these support groups for people who lost their spouses, not looking for anything, just trying to process everything. Earlier this year, I met this woman named Lisa who lost her husband around the same time I lost Sarah. We just clicked, started talking after meetings, then got coffee a few times. We went on maybe 4 dates total over the summer. I was keeping it quiet because I wasn't sure how my daughters would react. We were taking things super slow, just trying to figure out if this was even real. Last week, Lisa and I went to dinner at this Italian place downtown. We're sitting there having pasta when I notice our server keeps staring at me. Then I realize it's my older daughter's friend from high school. This girl worked at the restaurant and clearly recognized me. I knew immediately this was going to be a problem. Sure enough, the next night my phone rings at like 9 o'clock. It's my older daughter and she's absolutely losing it, screaming at me through the phone about how I'm cheating on her mom. "How could you do this to her?" she yelled. "She made you promise. I was right there when she said it." I tried to explain that her mom was joking, that she didn't actually expect me to be alone forever, but my daughter wasn't hearing it. "You promised her the day before she died, and now you're out on dates like she never existed." She was crying and yelling, and I finally had to hang up because I couldn't take it anymore. I told her I'd call her back in the morning when we both calmed down. That night I couldn't sleep. I felt like the worst person alive. Was I really dishonoring my wife's memory? She'd been gone for 6 years. I'm only 45. Did she really expect me to be alone for the next 40 years? Then my wife's sister texted me. She said Sarah's request was unfair and unreasonable, that the whole family understood I needed to move on and she was going to talk to my daughter about it. The next morning I drove an hour to my daughter's college campus. We got breakfast at this little cafe near her dorm. Turns out her aunt had already called her the night before and told her she was being irrational. My younger daughter had also texted her saying I deserved to be happy. We walked around campus for hours, talked about her mom, cried together, laughed about old memories. I told her I would never try to replace her mother, that anyone I dated would have to get along with both my girls. She was still upset, but she admitted it was unfair to expect me to spend the rest of my life alone. She apologized for screaming at me and said she just wasn't ready to see me with someone else. I suggested we go to therapy together to work through it. She said she was too busy with school, but maybe during winter break. When I left, she hugged me and said she loved me. I'm still seeing Lisa, taking it slow. My daughter's learning to accept it.